Blog Talk Radio.
Following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio with your host, Angelo,
and your co-host, Lynna Lopez.
A show for trans folks by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from the land of enchantment, Silver City, New Mexico. I am Angelo, your host.
And I'm Lynna Lopez, your hostess. We wanted to take a moment to thank our sponsors, thebreastformstore.com. They have everything you can imagine to enhance your feminizing needs.
As well as Spunk Lube, which is an award-winning personal lubricant that's glycerin-free, non-staining, 100% sex toy safe with all materials. And it's fun to use. It is available in Spunk Lube Hybrid, kind of like us, the hybrid, Spunk Lube Pink, and Spunk Lube Pure Silicone. Please visit their website at www.spunklube.com to check out their amazing line of products. And guess what? If you use the code TR, you will receive a 10% discount.
Please support Transition Radio by clicking the donate button. No small amount is too small. And check out the GoFundMe of the month.
It is amazing how this year is going by so quickly.
Oh, my
goodness. It is already January 26th.
Where did it go?
I don't know, and so many crazy things have happened.
Too many.
2015 definitely started out with a major bang.
And a roll,
yes, with a bunch of boulders along the way. But, you know, it's all good. It's all part of the journey. We are here to grow and learn as spirit beings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. You know, although everything's happened the way it has, I mean, I'm grateful to be where I'm at.
Definitely, and I'm grateful that you are here sharing this beautiful journey with me, that we have fallen in love in such a short period of time. I can't even remotely.
It's heaven on earth, really.
It totally is.
And I don't mean to be all goo-eyed over you or anything, but I am. So,
ditto. The feeling is so mutual. I mean, I never really thought that I could feel this way for someone as I feel for you. But anyway, we won't make you all sick with our love story here. Let's see, we got some chatters on the chat line. I heard what seemed like a news story, and then it went silent.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Try refreshing the page. Go to the link. I don't know, this Blog Talk Radio, we need to find different formats to try to bring this radio show. I've been with them for almost 2.5 years, and I don't know, sometimes it works greatly, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, you guys could call in at any time during the conversation and broadcast. We will be touching different topics. The number to call in is
646-716-6895.
Do not be bashful. Call in. It doesn't matter what kind of voice you have. If you have a deep voice, a low voice, a high voice, we want to hear your voice because this is your radio show. It got started 2.5 years ago to allow you to express your views. We may not always agree.
Oh, for sure.
You know, but we could agree to disagree. And, you know, I always said no two transsexual people are alike.
Or genetic people,
exactly.
But aren't we genetic anyway? I mean, what's the argument anyway?
Anyway, she now says that she reloaded the page and it works.
All right.
There you go. Welcome, man. We're so glad you're able to join us. You could also call in at 646-716-6895 if you want your voice to be heard. But right now we're going to start a little scenario here. We're going to talk about the battles within our community. Stems from the battles within. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty deep stuff there. You know, a lot of times we forget that what we feel inside, we demonstrate on the outside, and I'm sure that you could elaborate on that for us a little bit there.
Well, I mean, in what regard are you asking specifically? I mean, the battles. What are the battles that we're having?
Well, a lot of times we look in the mirror, and we don't like what we see. Yeah. Right? As a book that I wrote a while back called The Mirror Makes No Sense.
Oh, that was a nice New York Times bestseller. Right?
Something near that nature, I wish. But, no, it's the book I wrote to share my life story and to try to explain to people, because back in the day there was not a lot of transgender anything. And it was
I did look back then. You know, I mean, back in the 90s, I was looking this stuff up voraciously, and it was very difficult to find anything, you know. And I probably did see some of your specials on different TV programs and stuff like that, because I was just trying to get something so that I could feel normal, you know. And, you know, the battle that I was having was with my own identity. And, you know, it has taken, you know, a long time to come to peace with it, you know, but, you know, I have come to peace with it. And I'm grateful that I don't have to struggle, you know, with that identity complex that I had, maybe even just a few short months ago.
Well, it's one of these things that we look in the mirror, we're not happy with what we see, so we think that we have to fit this box, what we call the gender box.
Right.
Things are either black or white,
male or
female. And, you know, could it possibly be that the universe, call it the great I am, God, whatever it is you believe in,
or don't believe in,
could actually just be throwing things like it does with nature. If you look at two trees, they don't look the same. Why is that? Because we all have our self-expression. So maybe we're not here just to fit into a little box. Maybe we're here to show that there is more to us than just a male energy and a female energy, and that we have to either have a penis or a vagina, or that we have to happily fit in what society wants us to fit in.
Right. I think there's a misconception when we think that we have to fit into one of these boxes, and what happens is, as we go on this gender journey that we're on as transsexuals, we think that we have to slide from one side of the gender spectrum clear over to the other side. So sometimes, a lot of times, the majority of times, what happens is that a trans man who was really feminine as a woman then slides all the way over to this bodybuilding hunk who talks like a sailor and acts like, you know, some kind of a bully or something.
Exactly.
And, you know, is that necessary?
No, it's not, and it's not. Who says that a male has to be all alpha male and all, I'm going to scratch my balls now and show you what an alpha male I actually am.
Although you do have a very deep voice.
Yes, I do. But I also had a deep voice as Maritza.
Well, see, that's one thing that people should understand, is that some of these character traits that we have as the gender that we were assigned at birth follow us through our lives.
Exactly. And that we have nothing to prove to anyone. So I was born a female. I can never erase that.
No way.
Yes, I was. I know it's hard to
believe. I don't believe it.
For a minute, I know. I've had the same reaction.
You show me pictures, but
yeah, a lot of people can just never, and they're like, no way, that's not you. And you know what? I never hated who I was. I went through life going back and forth, two spirits. Sometimes I felt really feminine, and I would do myself all up with my beautiful curly long hair and put on the makeup and the dresses. And then all of a sudden, if the moon shifted or the stars did something strange, all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to cut my hair off, and I'm not going to shave my armpits, damn it.
I saw some pictures of you, and you look like a tomboy.
Yeah, but I went back and forth.
But the thing is that you, as a gendered female, you could do that easily, whereas a guy born, you know, genetic male, he can't just jump in and out of their gender, because, I mean, guys have facial hair, they have arm hair, and, you know, putting a wig on a guy that has arm hair and facial hair, in society, that doesn't equal a very pretty picture.
But that's what we need to change. We need to change that mentality. We need to change the way people think, because people should be allowed to express themselves as they see fit.
Did you see that person on, like, it was a YouTube video? She was on this program the bearded lady?
Carmen something or another.
Yeah.
Major hit in her country, and then trying to prove a point that not everyone needs to fit the gender box, and it's okay to be genderqueer. It's okay.
To be non-conforming.
Exactly, and that's a beautiful thing. So why do we transgender individuals feel that we have to beat up on each other and try to have some sort of contest? Now, I just went and got my vagina made in Thailand, so I'm a real woman now. So there.
And I just got my arm grafted into a penis, and I'm a guy.
Yeah, it's limpy, and it looks like a sausage that's maldeformed and all that, but it's my penis, and I'm a dude now.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, let's take ourselves a little less serious here and enjoy this journey, this beautiful ride, this amazing trip that we are on. Heck, we should be thankful that we're not being institutionalized, because if you really think about it.
50 years ago.
Oh, my gosh, if you really think about it, here we are, these individuals, all our life we were.
No, I'm a woman.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's like, when I was a little girl, and I'm like, okay, people can't get this. They don't understand this. So if we're like, look, I feel this certain way. I've gone through life feeling different from everybody else. I feel better expressing as a man.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and do things to make myself feel comfortable. I'm transgender.
Right.
People get that.
Yeah.
But when you tell somebody,
I was never this,
and do not talk to me about that, like some individual called Janet Mock did on that CNN interview, who made every one of us look like a total a-hole.
I remember watching that video that, it became a YouTube hit, after I hit CNN, and just realizing that the interviewer, what's his name, Pierce Brosnan, no, it's somebody else, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
The British guy.
Yeah.
From the tabloids back.
Piers
Morgan.
Yeah, Piers Morgan.
Whatever. So he was asking legitimate questions.
Yes.
I mean, the regular world just wants to know what's going on with us. And we just play this cover-up game. Yeah. Like it's, I was never born male. I was born a
baby.
And then they put, like, categorizations on the type of people that we are. They come up with these terms like TERF.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's like, it's not fair. Because, we're not trying to put other people in another box, but we don't want them to define themselves by just being male or female.
Exactly.
If you were born a certain way, that's what you are.
Exactly. And you know what? If all of us, because I transitioned back in 2003, if all of us decided to go stealth, do you think we would have made the major advancements that we have today, thanks to individuals like me and other advocates that put ourselves out there trying to explain to the world that this is a biological issue?
Yeah.
I did the circuit for over a year and a half from Maury Povich to Montel Williams and Shirley Cretina. I did the Spanish circuit all over the place, educating. I wrote a book. I went to different seminars.
Too.
Yeah, well, I've gotten older now. I'm 50.
Yeah, but you don't look like you're 50.
Yeah, but, so it kind of hurts me and aggravates me to hear people that just all of a sudden want to disappear, and they do not want to own who they are. We are transgender. It doesn't mean you just transition from one gender to another and then poof, that's it. We will always be. That's how I feel.
It's unbelievable because, I can't deny the fact that I sired 5 children. Okay, for 40 years I lived my life as a male. My spouse loved me as a male. Although all my life I had been struggling with my gender, I kept it a secret to myself. And it was something that was very personal to me. But I cannot just blot out my memory. And that's not fair to her. It's not fair to my children who see me as their dad. What am I supposed to tell them? Oh, you don't have a dad anymore. You have a mom.
You have 2 mommies now.
You have 2 mommies. It's like, it's not fair, So then when I was asked, so how do you want to be defined as? And I go, whatever the children choose to define me as is whatever they feel comfortable as defining me as is what I will go with, Exactly. So it's just, it's just a delusional game that we're playing.
And then we're arguing with each other, which makes absolutely no sense. I've been in this for many, many years. Put 10 trans individuals in a room and talk about different topics, and we will not agree on one single topic.
Right.
And this is why, as a community, we are failing because
splintered.
Yeah, totally. Because we can't agree. At least agree to disagree. Right. Let's be a little more intelligible in what we're saying and don't have people look at us like we need to be institutionalized.
Right.
Because that's what happens. I've had people say, you're not of the same camp that believes that you were never born. So, no, of course not. I have a vagina. I cannot erase the fact that I'm female. I was born female. I identify as Mark,
right,
a trans man, because I don't even identify as a man. I identify as a trans man, and I always have. And I have no reason to, because you look at me, no one could ever even remotely say that I was born female.
No.
But I am proud of my transness. And damn it, I want, my secret. And I want nothing more than my trans brothers and sisters to be proud of who they are. Not everyone will have surgery. Not everyone will be able to take hormones because medically they cannot.
Right.
So I advocate for those individuals.
Right.
Not for the ones that are going to splinter and hide and be ashamed of who they are. Be proud.
Yeah. Well, some of them, they just they'll go to Thailand and then they'll be living this stealth life already because they've been able to achieve a certain degree of stealthness because as men they were beautiful, as men they were handsome, and as women they are beautiful, because that's just how it is. So they think that just because their beauty defines who they are, that after they go through this surgery, that they can then live this lie to not ever tell anyone about their truth. And I think it's really disingenuous to, genetic females for them to categorize themselves as the same as they are. Because the body is very intricately made and detailed and everything. And if you believe in a creator, if you don't, the fact is that we are a very finely designed organism, and basically, there are so many wonderful things about being female, so many wonderful things about being male, that if you just throw the baby out with the bathwater, what are you doing?
Exactly. There are people, actually, who was it that wrote, we won't mention names, I don't know if she wants us to mention names, that actually had the surgery, and now things totally different. And it's like, wow.
So much regret.
A lot of regret.
A
lot of
people
regret.
Are saying, oh, my gosh, if I would have known that I needed to dilate all the time, I thought it was going to be easy. And then they're finding it to be painful.
Painful, yeah.
Finding just these different things that happen with how they're able to urinate.
And complications.
You have to go back.
Yeah, and then their love life pretty much shot.
Pretty much.
A lot of them end up doing this, and they're alone, and they die alone.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know about you, but I know that one of the mysterious thing about us being transgender and how many trans women are a major commodity amongst a lot of the tranny chasers, and I know a lot of you don't like that word, but that's what it's called.
They're out there.
They're out there.
A lot of them.
And the thing is, what makes you special to these individuals is the penis.
Right.
Once you become a regular female, according to your terms, then it's
nothing special.
Nothing special. And why would they want to be with someone who they can't have a baby with, who they can't, there are all these things that really go into play.
Yeah.
And it's not, we're not trying to be mean, we're not trying to be whatever. And you know what? Everyone's entitled to do with their life what they want to do. It's your genital, it's your life, by all means. But to try to just totally just disregard who you are, and a lot of them, what we call the trans elite, think they're better than those of us that don't have surgery.
If they've gone through full SRS surgery, they are elite.
Yeah, elite. And they just think
I don't even advocate for trans rights anymore. I don't even talk to my old trans friends anymore. I've been accepted into the society of cisgender people, and I am disappearing into there.
Yeah, and that word cis, that's a made-up word. Do you know how many genetically born individuals hate that word? Because it's just and how they come down on genetically born individuals.
Yeah.
It's it's crazy. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes I just want to disappear from this whole trans advocacy.
Well, you're not even from this planet.
Oh, I know. I'm from Mars, so yeah.
And you landed not too far from Roswell. So.
Which is how you ended up landing here. You had to mimic the fall.
You had to mimic the landing.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about taking life for granted. I'm sure that you feel very well capable of speaking about that because of what just transpired in your life.
Well, as far as taking life for granted, I took life for granted a lot, thinking that I was, a very sheltered individual, raised in my Christianity and all that. But, I was just really cemented into my belief system. And I made that a part of who I was. And although I struggled with everything, I still wanted to be seen as a certain way. And I was selfish. I was egotistical. I was pharisaical in a way, how I felt like I was dogmatic. And, you know, I took life for granted. And it wasn't up until, you know, I began to transition where I became a person who was understanding and compassionate and all the things that my Bible tells me to be, I was starting to become. And then I was hearing people saying, oh, you're doing the wrong thing by doing this. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm becoming more like what I want to be, you know. And I wasn't taking life for granted. I was appreciating people. I was looking after the, you know, thoughts of other people and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's difficult because when you're not in agreement with who you are as a person, you do take life for granted.
Right. And sometimes we feel that certain things are important when in reality they're not. A lot of us don't realize that we are living in borrowed times. It's like a bomb waiting to explode. We're here right now. We feel healthy, and all in a matter of seconds, you could have a heart attack, a stroke, fall off a mountain.
No.
You know, yeah. I mean, anything of that nature that could literally turn your life around. And then things start taking a different turn. Like you start looking at things totally different. Like, is makeup really that important, or is being able to move my neck and breathe? You know, things of that nature, which we are not. You know, we're taught to be so materialistic and to always think the grass is greener on the other side, and all these crazy things that life throws at us. You know, it's.
I think, you know, the Creator or whoever you want to believe in is calling us to a sense of simplicity. You know, because there's so many things that distract. All you have to do is turn on your TV. All you have to do is watch your iPhone or your Android phone or whatever phone you have, and just see all the things that you get inundated with in your mailbox and your email box and all the things that they entice you with and everything. And
it's overwhelming. And, you know, it's like we're not meant to live that way.
Right.
We're meant to wake up in the morning with the sun, look at the beautiful sky, you know, grow our food, be one with nature, love one another, simplicity. Instead, we're taught to compete against one another, keep up with the Joneses. You need to have this latest gadget or the world's going to fall apart, you know, and no wonder we get cancer and heart attack and strokes because we are overly stressed. We are not meant to live that way.
I mean, the studies have been out about a cell phone, and it is not a safe device. I mean, Wi-Fi signals, you don't know what they're doing to your brain, you know, all this stuff. And we think that we're on top of the game, whereas we're being dumbed down.
Exactly, exactly. And all for a reason, because our souls are being taken from us, all for the mighty dollar, all for fame, fortune, gadgets. You know, your time's not even your own. How many people actually spend time at home with their family during dinner time? You know, they don't, because they're too worried about keeping up with their bills, and they have to work 40, 60 hours a week. They're commuting in a car in major traffic. That's not living.
Yeah, and they're sending their kids off to all these different activities so that they could stay out of their hair. Yeah. And, you know, that's just not the way to live.
Yeah. We want to take a time to thank our chatters. Somebody else has signed in. And one of our actual chatters talked about that although she identifies a certain way, that doesn't mean that she will not be an advocate for the trans community.
That's wonderful. The trans community needs so much help, and there's so much confusion in the trans community. And I feel really bad, you know, because I don't have all the answers. Neither do you.
Exactly.
We offer opinion and what we are personally, you know, I don't know what our personal philosophy is on it, but it's not religious Bible view. It's not something cemented in fact. I mean,
and I've been at this for a while, not to say that I know it all, but if I could actually, you know, help somebody not feel a certain amount of pain. And if I tell people, you know, if you accept both your sides, you are going to find such a relief and a healing within you. That's when I first started, I would fight shadows.
You were that guy.
I was that guy.
You were that macho,
and like, what do you mean I'm not a man? Damn you, don't you look at me? I'm a man.
got my chest hair.
Exactly. And after a while, like, you know what? I felt like Maritza was like, please don't forget me. Maritza was who I used to be. And it's like when I started tapping into my softer side, when I started allowing Maritza to come out.
And making meals.
And making and cooking and cleaning. And, you know, it's like it felt so good. I'm like, okay, I don't have to let go of who I was.
Right.
I could try to blend in my yin and my yang and create this beautiful balance and this individual, this wonderful man that took care of you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in your time of need.
Absolutely.
You know, I touched within my female side to be able to nurture you.
Sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
You know?
It is.
Definitely. See what else are writing here. We need more people to be an example for the trans community. Our lack of good representation in the media is why so many people are against us.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes, that is correct. And denial, a lot of the new trans advocates are in denial of who they are. And, you know, we are here for a reason. That is the epiphany I got one day, one night, where I realized, you know, I'm not a mistake. I am who I was meant to be. And it's a beautiful thing. And look at how many of us are coming out of the woodworks. This is no coincidence. Something is taking place. Yeah. There's an evolution that's happening. Absolutely. And we need to accept who we are, and we need to be proud of who we are instead of just discarding it or sweeping it under a rug.
I mean, why do we have to let society define who we are?
Exactly.
I mean, I think it's a very beautiful thing to have a dual-gendered spirit, you know. I mean, to be dual-spirited, dual-gendered, however you want to say it, be a hybrid, however you want to call it. You know, I think it's a gift. We're a gift to humanity. We're a gift to society. If they would understand that we're a gift, there would be so many things that they could learn from us, you know. I mean, you talked about it before, shamans in the past, you know, those were dual-gendered people in Native American society. Even to this day.
Yeah, and they honored.
Recognize it. And
they honored. And it was like a gift for a family to have a Badachi born into the family, which meant, and that's what the Indians meant, two-spirited. And they were like, wow, this is great. We've got this gift. And we need to return to that time. But too many of us are just too quickly to say, oh, I'm not trans anymore.
Right.
I transition, and that's the end of that. No, transgender doesn't mean you're going from point A to point B and then forget about it. It's you were born male body and you transition to female and you identify as female, but you still have your male energy. You can't just remotely get rid of it. That's not what we're here to do.
I mean, there are so many stories where people think that just by getting the genital that they wanted, that they are able to get over to the other side of the rainbow.
Yeah.
And the reality is there's so many of these women that I've spoken to, they still sound like a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
They still don't have etiquette as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
They still don't think as a woman. I mean, if you say something that they don't agree with, they'll block you. They'll just unfriend you.
Yeah, or they will try to destroy you.
As a woman, what does a woman do?
Yeah.
Do they want to talk about it?
Of course, communication.
Yeah, I would think
yakety-yakety-yak. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We're running out of time here. We've got a minute and 56 seconds left of the live broadcast. It goes in 2 recordings, so we'll probably continue to talk a little bit more. But if you missed the live, you could always just download it and listen to it later, either on Blog Talk or visit the website at www.transitionradio.net. And I will have the entire broadcast there on the front page for you to listen to.
That's good. Can I listen to it again, too?
Of course.
It's a good one.
Yes, definitely. You can listen. It's there on eternity or for eternity. Anyway, there's my Cuban stuff for you. But, yes, it's an amazing life that we have been given. If I had to do this all over again, I definitely would. I mean, why wouldn't I? Can you imagine the strength it is to have the abilities of a man and have the abilities of a woman all in one?
Superhuman.
Superhuman indeed.
I mean, it's almost like we're angelic beings.
We are. We are. That's why the wings of Transition Radio, because we are angelic. And I want every one of our brothers and sisters out there to feel proud, not ashamed. Don't feel like you've been given a curse. No, you've been given a gift. Be proud. Look at all of you have some sort of talent. You're creative. Use that creativity to create wonderful things. Don't self-destruct. That's why at the end of every show, I always say, I love you, but remember to always love yourselves too. It is so important. We're not trying to badger you. We're not trying to make you feel anything bad. We just want you to realize the beauty within you.
We're not even trying to deny your femininity or your masculinity. It's not about that. It's really about accepting who you are, both, like you said, your yin and your yang, your female and your male side.
Exactly.
And some people just don't want to come to grips with that. And they just want to deny it exists.
Exactly. So we're on the recording portion. Let's take a look here what else we needed to talk about. Transitioning and former relationships. A lot of us lose our family because of transitioning. You know, some of our families don't get it. And you know what? You can't blame them. We all get angry at them because we're like, how dare you?
At first, you're very offended, you know, because here it is, you're trying for them to understand you, something that it's taken you decades upon decades for you to come to grips with. And I think it's unfair for us to, in our initial year of transition, to accept so much out of these people who saw us only in a certain light. And they didn't see the other person, you know. They didn't see that reality of us.
And in our minds, we think they did, and I think sometimes we even create these scenarios in our mind, but they never saw it. And so to them, it's like we're killing their loved one.
That's what my mom thinks.
And that's what my mom thinks, too. I killed Maritza, her beautiful, long-haired, beautiful daughter.
I killed Paul, you know. I mean, it's sad. I mean, my own sister would say, I don't want to associate with anything to do with that person that you become because I never knew that person.
Right.
And it's like, you know, they have grounds.
They do. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. They eventually come around. We have to give them their space. We have to let them understand it at their pace.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do. But
they're transitioning with us.
Exactly. But we don't think about that. We don't think about me, myself, and I. And that's one of the things that I've always said about us transgender individuals. We're selfish, self-centered. You know, we turn into into these little
babies.
Exactly, like teenage boys and girls.
I mean, you guys turn into like these He-Men, and we turn into these divas. And I know people will say, no, I'm not a diva, or, oh, I'm not a He-Man, but, I mean, a lot of people do. Okay, you
All
don't.
Of us do. All of us do. We just don't see it. You know, it takes a while, our evolution. We grow out of it. We start understanding. It took me a while.
I'm starting to understand it because of you, you know.
And it's, you know, once you really get past that anger, that denial, that guilt, that everything that comes with being transgender, and you start looking at things in a different lens, then you start to grow.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful journey. It really is. And we just want to help people realize the beauty of it, you know. And yes, there are hard times that come along with it, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you will learn to appreciate who you are. Trust me on that. Transitioning and former self, okay, we just talked about that. The medical community, how toxic is it?
Well, it's about $55,000 toxic right now. That was my wonderful helicopter ride to the wonderful trauma center that I ended up flying into. Yeah,
$55,000.
$55,000.
I mean, come on, for real? $55,000. What did they do? A pedicure, a manicure, and massage you while
I don't remember. I didn't even get to see anything.
You know, did they show you the scenic route or
there
something?
There was no glass bottom on the stinking helicopter. I mean, I was in pain. I just wanted to get to where they could treat me. And at first, they put me into this ambulance when I got to the top of the mountain. As they yanked me up there, you know. And I was like, put into this ambulance, and they're like, oh, oops, I'm sorry, we have a helicopter. Oh, I guess she's going in there. Oh, okay. And then I get a bill for that, $500.
For just being 2 seconds in the ambulance, and $55,000 for the year. The flying ambulance, the helicopter.
How many Las Vegas, you know, to the Grand Canyon trips can you do for $55,000 in the helicopter?
A lot. Yeah. I mean, you could have a trip around the world for that kind of money.
I mean,
it's crazy. This is the medical community is broken,
out of control,
totally broken. And you know, did anyone ask you want to be taken to El Paso? I mean, they first of all they take you out of the car, don't even follow precautions,
right?
But then they're going to take you to the trauma center because they know that's how they're going to rack the bill.
Oh yeah,
you know, and everything's about racking the bill. We want to fuse your neck. You know, and a bunch of residents are going to work on you because this is a teaching hospital and they got to learn somewhere.
And you're trans. So
yeah, you're
trans.
trans. We don't care.
Specimen. You're a perfect cadaver.
Yeah,
you know.
It is a crazy world we're living in. It's like every day I wake up and I'm like shake my head because I don't get it. Why people are so dead asleep and not realize what's going on, the kind of world we're living in, and we are the ones that are responsible to create some change. So we just get along to go along, you know, watch football and American with Got Talent and Think You Could Dance and, you know, all these crazy shows.
Reality shows, not reality shows.
Yeah, exactly. And we're just doing absolutely nothing about it. We're being poisoned. We're being lied to. And, you know, we don't care because we got our TV set with our Super Bowl coming up, so that's all.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's all that matters for a lot of people, you know, keeping up with the Joneses, looking good, you know, saying the right things and having a great job, you know. I mean, that's what life is about for people, you know, and if they can get their toys in their house and, you know, keep everything sane, they're good.
So the thing is, you can't take it with you when you go. That's, you know, it's one of those things. No, so it's like, it's not about who collects the most toys. And our last topic of this evening is SRS and the different mentality around it. And we kind of touched base upon it earlier, you know, regarding...
I don't want to... I mean, it gets so offensive for people.
Oh, I know.
And I think that what ends up happening is that so many people, it's like those that get SRS, they think that it is the all-important holy grail moment of feminine transformation.
Yeah.
That they become, I mean, like a woman.
Yeah.
And I mean, you were a woman.
Yeah. And
how do you feel about that?
Let me tell you, being a woman is more than your genital. You're socialized from the time that you're little. There are certain things, rite of passages that you go through, your period, when you first start actually seeing breast growth, and I know trans women experience that, but it's just a very different type of, it's puberty. It's what is part of biology. And not to take away from trans women, you know, I love you guys dearly, my God. You know, it's like...
You girls.
And the guys, you know what I meant. But it's just, there's more to life than genitals. There is more to life than that. And there's more to life than gender.
Yeah.
I mean, spirit, I love you for you. Right. I don't look at what you have below your belt, although I very much enjoy it and love everything about you, but that's not the everything. When I first saw you in that ICU, first thing I looked into were your eyes, because that is what mesmerized me about you when I was watching videos on YouTube and when I saw your pictures, that and your mouth. Those are the, two things. And when I held you.
So all you needed was my mouth
and your eyes, and I'm good to go. Everything else is icing on the cake, and it's a wonderful thing. Just holding you at night, having you hold me, sitting down, having something to eat together, and just
laughing
together, feeling your presence. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I feel like my soul jumps into you, and your soul jumps into me, and it's the most amazing thing. So that's all that really matters, folks, is love. Unconditional love. Gender is just another ploy to divide us.
Right. Well, the whole SRS argument, though, because I was caught up in it. I was talking to my therapist back in Minnesota when I was living there, and that was my approach to wanting to transition successfully meant that I would follow the steps for, WPATH or whatever they call it, to transition into becoming a woman. So I thought common sense would tell me, oh, you need to have a vagina. And the truth is, though, that the vagina, I know people will say whatever arguments they want to say that it is an actual vagina, but the reality is you were a woman, or partially yet.
Yes, I have a vagina that lubricates, and even though I have a hysterectomy, I have my ovaries removed, but my vagina contracts, and it lubricates. Right. And it's warm, and I don't have to dilate, okay? That is something that I have because I was born female body.
But I'm going to argue that. I'm going to argue that.
I was born with both. My clitoris was enlarged. I had hair all the way through what I call my nature trail, whatever, from my pubic bone all the way up. Even almost I had chest hairs,
Mm-hmm.
small amounts, but I did it. My voice was deep, as
Yeah.
Maritza. I used to get sirred on the phone all the time.
Oh, God.
You know, that's how it was.
Yeah.
But, you know, vagina, what they actually do to reconstruct a vagina is that they actually fillet your penile and they invert it and they go through the cavity, and some MTFs actually get damaged intestines and they actually have feces coming out of the vagina because it is a very intricate, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting anybody down. This is what you want to do. That's great. Your experience, fantastic. But to make you believe that you are now a female because you had SRS,
or that you feel more
as one, that's fine, you know. But you know, we are transgender. This is our experience. You can't just void it out and say erase, negate.
I mean, it's like, I know my hands will always be bigger than yours.
Exactly.
I mean, they were born that way.
Exactly.
You know, and my feet are like twice as big as your beautiful,
little,
beautiful feet. Can I exchange mine for yours? You know, because I don't like mine, but these are guy feet. I can't get away from that. You know.
Next up, we're doing feet transplants. And hand transplants. We'll be walking around like Frankenstein.
Don't push it. The medical establishment
will do anything.
They can do it. They'll
take
advantage of it.
Yes, for $1 they will do anything.
It's like
they're even talking about having MTFs have babies now, the women, whatever, and I'm like, okay, I've heard it all.
I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, if you want to go into like having a baby as an MTF, what delusion do you think you have to?
Yeah.
Be drinking or smoking or taking.
Just go ahead and find yourself an FDM who hasn't had any hysterectomy yet and have your child that way. I wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of my parts because I would definitely love to give Lynna her child. You know, I think it'd make a cute little baby.
Cute Puerto
Rican Cuban baby. Definitely be just an amazing child. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the show. Remember to tune in Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have another amazing guest lined up for you, Neil Sanja. He is the creator of FTM, I think is fitness conference and bodybuilding for FTM training. You'll find a lot more about him if you visit their website, www.transitionradio.net. He's on the front page, which takes you directly to his page there on our website, and learn a little bit more about him. If you know anyone that wants to be on the show, please contact us. There's a contact form on the website. You're free to email us anytime with any questions, concerns. Tell us to go F ourselves, whatever it is. We don't mind, you know.
Please call. It gets lonely.
I know. But at least we had some chatters on the chat line. That was nice. Well, guys, have a great evening, and we want to tell you we love you, but remember to always love yourselves, too. Good night, and I'm ending the show tonight with one of my old original. It's called It's All a Journey. I am me, you are you, different streets and avenues. Which are the crossroads we will choose? It doesn't matter where we're going. It doesn't matter where we've been. It's all a journey. The destination will soon begin. Will soon begin. Red or white, dark or bright, seasons change all the time. Those are the memories we left behind. It doesn't matter where we're going. It doesn't matter where we've been. It's all a journey. Destination will soon begin.
will soon begin. Gay or straight, now or wait, fight this war, choose peace instead. These are the choices life presents. Wrong or right, can't decide, it's not our say.